Welcome to this week's energy, where I am bringing you the energy of the week, the opportunities for your business success, to increase your success, to align even more with your why, with your purpose, with the true reason why you're here. And that probably looks different than anything that you have been building so far. I will look at the gates this week. We have a gate change coming up tomorrow. And then also the energetics behind it, what you need to be aware of so that you can make the right decisions confidently, with clarity, and with certainty, no matter what comes up, because the not self will equally come up as the bigger visions that your true self is showing you. And I'm going to show in a bit my screen where I show you the transits and how it affects the chart. And then if you have a certain program where you can track those transits as well, that will help you to understand how it affects your energy personally. And then, of course, equally in your business. So first, I want to look into the astrology a little bit, because this is the portal. This is the corridor of expansion. It is a potent period where any action that is taking from true alignment, alignment with your chart, aligned with your chart, aligned with your vision, aligned with your, the version of you, not your future self. We don't need to go there. It is really this soul knowing that this is what you're meant to do. And when you take action from that energy, those results will ripple and manifest and come to fruition in really quantum speed, because you're pulling it out of the quantum. And this time right now is really to take aligned action immediately. It is not anymore about just sitting with a vision and wanting to get clarity about the vision. All the information is there. And the question is now, and always was for me, is okay, if everything is there available, and if the reality of you living it is there existing in another reality, then what is blocking me? Why do I face certain not self patterns still? And this week will be very interesting for that. So if you feel called into to lead on a bigger level, if you always knew that you're meant to bring very deep work into the world, very meaningful, very purposeful, then know that body knowing, without even knowing how that actually looks like in reality, know that this is true. And your desire to make a bigger impact, to change the world with your work, you have a message to share, know that reality already exists. It is meant for you. It's nothing you have to earn. It's nothing that you have to feel, worthy of. It's there. It exists. So the question is, why are you not living it? Why don't you have that clarity? And this week, we have the potential in the cosmos, with the energy that we're moving in towards 2027, that this more clearer, true, purposeful vision gets shown to you. Unless you're too busy and you're too distracted, and you want to be very mindful what comes up, so that you get the clarity and that you get really the clear vision that is available for you. So what stands out for me when it comes to the astrology is that Saturn enters Aries. And that means that leadership meets a legacy. And as we just we're at the end of gate 8, which is all about authentic, truly self-expression. This really stands out, where legacy means leadership, meaning we are all called. We feel that more clarity and desire to create now the real thing. and not to ponder around anymore. We're bored to doing it the old way. And this is about the time where it really is now upon making that decision that new possibilities are there. The energy is fresh. Gemini season comes in. And with Mercury conjunct Uranus, there's Mercury's communication, downloads, intuitive downloads of your genius, of your true genius, your true gift, your true potential is available in an unexpected way. So that even means that you have that unexpected realization what you're actually meant to do. So for me, it was even more clear as I got faced with an old not self pattern that the role as a coach is just too small. Yes, there was a destiny where that reality was one iteration, one stage in elevating my destiny and accessing my true potential. This is a path of evolution, of deconditioning, but it's not the thing. And so this week, and I did all the work that I'm now sharing with you, I'm already working on for weeks now. And what really changed for me was integrating Kabbalah principles to understand not just the mechanics that I always love about human design because it's so binary. When you know your mechanism, you are designed to be successful, you can repeat it, then it is actually predictable. And that's the only strategy you need, how to access your intuitive knowing, to trust that, to build certainty in yourself, and to decondition to your not self, from your not self. And Kabbalah now came into my life because I was ready for this level of understanding looking at 2027. You have to understand that true success, abundance, wealth can only be accessed through one of the main gates, which is gate 55, which is spiritual abundance. So now more than ever, the intention and the energy and the consciousness behind what we're doing and why we're doing it will affect the results more than ever. We cannot fake it anymore. You cannot get away with it. And that means we want to be very, very clear now, as with this energy that is available, that you can get shown what is your true vision, your true purpose is, what do you really want? And this question, what do you really want, is one of the hardest questions for all of my clients to respond, because I usually know from my own experience as a defined ego, what I wanted always was too much, too big, too visionary for most around me, too audacious. I'm constantly asking for more. I always want more because when I get what I want it more until I understand that this is the whole purpose of my design, to expand. This is the purpose of all of us, to expand our vessel, our energetic capacity to hold more. And the desires are there coming to you from an already existing other higher destiny. To understand this concept it's a particularly important this week. So when you look at human design, you have something in your design that is a magnetic monopole. The magnetic monopole sits under the G center and it is pulling you. It is a monopole, a magnet pulling you towards your highest destiny. This is where a reality exists where you live your fullest purpose, your fullest potential, in full alignment as your most authentic self, and in fullest prosperity. Whatever prosperity, richness, wealth means to you, it exists there. The monopole pulls you always in that direction. The not self, the mind, the conditioning is pushing against it. So it is the work that we do with the desires, the downloads, everything that we want to create is in order to have that not self coming up so that we see where the resistance is, that we understand why it's there, that we see what we need to heal, learn, overcome, as the not self, to come back to our true self, then alignment happens. When you have that, a consciousness shift happens. You're more aware about where you are giving yourself up in order to fit in. For example, when you have that awareness, there is a breakthrough. Your mechanism, your mechanics work in alignment more when you take then the actions from your true self, and a new destiny opens up. Kabbalah says that there are multiple destinies, and it is for you now to make it simple. By the way, this is what I talked about in my last YouTube video about collapsing time and creating a new reality. This is the principle behind it. You have to understand that the destiny, the reality that you're currently in, does not hold the vision that you might see or sense of your fullest potential. So the first concept, what really changed something for me to understand the energetics, that when I tried to manifest, to create the vision, the reality, the energy, and the version of me that I see for myself as a leader of leaders, I try to create that as on the destiny. It's like on that train rack. That train goes towards the destiny. Ginger as the projector coach, while Ginger as the speaker, the motivational speaker, the leaders of leader, the consultant, the entrepreneur. That is not the same reality. For me to understand that I needed anything that I want to create, really, I have to leave that reality. And this is where most of you are maybe feeling stuck right now, because you try to manifest something in a reality which you cannot change. It's fixed. And this is where human design, where Ra says there is no choice. There is no choice. It is a mechanism that you are operating from your not self. Your not self, or let's say an aligned version of you with a certain level of alignment, has created this reality. And in order to create a new reality, it's not a strategy. It's not the next framework. It is not you even understanding more about your human design. Because when you still try to apply your knowledge about human design from a mental construct onto your reality now, it doesn't work. And instead, it's about the consciousness behind everything, the consciousness shift, the understanding what this lesson here is that you need to learn in order to access the higher destiny, a different reality. So instead of working on a next strategy, or even then understanding more about, learning more about human design, it's about looking at what comes up here, because everything that, when you say, I want this, and this is where I say you have to be step one, clear about what you really want, because your desires are signposts from that higher dimension. Getting clear on that first. And in order to get that clarity this week, it is important to slow down. I'm going to show you in a second how that shows up in the gates, exactly in the way that the energy is working in your favor. So step one is, this week, ask yourself, what is it that I truly want? And usually this is what you want is not the thing that you really want. It's what you think you're worthy of, or what you can charge, or the amount of money you can make, or what it is. Everything is based on beliefs. And it's not the true thing that God, the universe, is sending you. And the reality, your version of you that exists in that reality, exists already. So she's sending you that, and it's not a future thing, because time isn't real. You can snap into that reality, like I experienced this week, in an instant, once you have that consciousness shift and the understanding that what comes up right now, the stuckness, the not self, is everything that, once you're clear about what you want, you will immediately get shown what needs to shift. Everything that is happening right now in your life is coming to you to support you raise into that reality. And this is the second consciousness shift that you have to make to understand that this is not happening to you. This is something where we need to look into, and this is where the mechanics now come in, is where is that key not self theme that comes up over and over and over again that you run into that we need to shift and understand what are you resisting? Where's the core belief, the limiting belief that you still don't, that you fear of the success that you know you're meant to do? And this is a one thing that will come up this week a lot. If I go into that reality and you receive the vision and the clarity about what you're actually meant to do and how to get there is by opening up. And I all want to invite you to slow down this week and stop consuming everything and sit and go out in nature or sit in silence and ask the creator, the God, the universe, show me what my destiny is. And you might be blown away. Mercury, Uranus is like, what? You want me to create this? And I'm doing this since months now. And the clarity about the conversation and the guidance is so strong, but this is a practice. Detoxing everything from your body, your food. You cannot receive the right guidance and downloads if your body is not clean. If you're taking in everyone else's ideas, if you have an undefined head, if you have an undefined G center, if you have an undefined ego, you're taking all those not self themes in, and you will not hear what God, the universe, wants you to do. So slow down and ask. Ask until and journal until you really see, and ask even bigger, even bigger, even bigger. And I'm so excited that this week, one of my lovely dream clients, long-term clients, comes to my place to do that in person with me. And I am hosting a retreat next month on June 21st, and it's nearly booked out with incredible leading women who know that when they come here in the country and in person working with me, we can get even quicker clarity about what that bigger role is and how the business needs to shift and align, which action steps to take. And also we will look into where the money blocks, where those limiting beliefs, where's the fear around bigger levels of success, bigger levels of visibility. This is important for you to understand that in Kabbalah, they call it the tikkun, which is a not self, a core not self that we all hold, that is nothing that we received here in this lifetime. It is from past lifetimes, and we experiencing it here through the activation of our family, of our upbringing. So, second thing to understand is that the core not self theme that will always come up at any level, but in different varieties. That's why it's so sneaky. The more aligned you are, you more you might think, I'm doing all that work. I did all the deep stuff. Why am this still comes up? This is where it's so helpful to dive deeper into this concept, or get my eyes on your chart and helping you. This is a new discovered genius that I had my entire life to see where's the pattern, where's the success pattern, where's your true potential, where's your purpose, where's your genius, and empower you to fully let it out. I'm no longer here to tell you what to do or give you that, teach you a concept, teach you the strategy. I'm here to role model leadership, what is possible, and activate you to bust through your limitations, to identify what is limiting you. At that level that you are at, it's the only question is, where are you limiting yourself to do it your way and to access your fullest potential? Everything else comes from there. You will receive the intuitive downloads, you will receive those next steps, but trusting that and building that certainty, that unshakable certainty that everything that is happening is for you and showing you where your growth is. And this requires choosing your growth. So step one is get clear what you want, listen, feel into it, want even bigger, and then look at equally. Once you're clear, once you tell that the universe, I'm going to tell you, it will come up the exact opposite. Your biggest visibility fears, your biggest worthiness issues, your biggest patterns around that core not self theme that you're here to solve and align with so that you live your purpose and access that higher destiny, that reality that you want. It comes up, these not self lessons, to show you where you have limitations in your beliefs. And this is where the consciousness needs to shift. But then you got to sit with the feelings of discomfort, the feelings of loneliness, the feelings of, if you want to be more seen, suddenly you feel so not seen. Your posts, no likes. Your call to actions, no responses. If you want more money, suddenly money just flows out. Suddenly your biggest money fears come up. People not paying you, defaulting, or you start selling and nobody buys. And instead of running away from it, this is not the time anymore. This is the finish line towards 2027. And this is where the spiritual abundance now comes in. It's not anymore about just creating it in the 3D and behind the scenes. You can just avoid everything. We cannot get away from it. And that's the beauty, because this is, if you feel very, very challenged right now, it's the biggest sign for you that on the other side, you're meant for such big things. You are one of those chosen souls, leaders. And everyone who's just coasting and it seems good, wait until 2027. Everyone gets their things shown. But when you feel really at the edge right now, you're so close to a breakthrough. And the work that I'm currently doing with my clients creates that breakthrough so quickly. And that's why I'm sharing these principles here with you, because I know you're ready for it. I know you're ready for this more advanced stuff. Now, you want to understand the technology behind it. Human design, Kabbalah, and all those principles are a technology. It's not tools. And the reason why it's technology is it's actually hidden technology, meaning you cannot approach it with your mind. That's why the deconditioning, the embodiment is so important, so that your cells remember it. And anything that I'm talking about, you got to just land and let your body absorb it, and something will be activated in your cellular knowing. And we only want to move from intuition and authority. And this is where a big difference is. Right now, I see a lot of people knowing about human design, but not really taking action truly from authority, because most are avoiding that discomfort of the fear that comes up and wanting to run away. And whenever clients come to me and say, okay, tell me about my next offer, tell me about my messaging, curate that with me, and then let's create the launch. I'm not doing that anymore, because anything that you are currently creating from lack or need will crumble. It has to eventually crumble. And my time is so valuable that I don't want to waste my time anymore to just create something, to just sell something. I could do that, but I cannot anymore. But for me, it's important that I'm going to help you move through that discomfort, see the lesson, get the consciousness shift, and then the true things come through, the real offers that you're meant to do. Then we create the offer, the message that you're here to share, your true vision. But we need to, my strength is to hold you with my gate of crisis through that transition, through the discomfort. I went through that myself for months. I let go of my entire business income stream because I knew without doing that, this whole work would not come through. And then everything falls so into place and things rearrange so quickly once you access at that higher destiny, everything is there. Everything is there. But we want to look into that first. You have to cultivate certainty, but certainty is not, oh yeah, I'm certain that I'm meant to be a millionaire. I'm certain that, this is happening for me. I got to trust that. When I hear that sentence, you don't trust yourself. You're talking yourself into trust, but deep down, I can sense that there's fear. There's not really this full on faith, trust and that's level 2 of alignment, to choose to sit with what comes up. And I want you to really understand the power of choosing certainty and the intelligence behind intention right now. I'm going to give you as an example in a second why it is so important to know exactly what you want and the why behind it, because that will help you identify your biggest block. The difference between not self is coming up and thinking about what am I doing wrong? Why is it not working? Why I'm still feeling it? That is not choosing to really sit with it and understand what is actually going on, and that everything is meant to activate something in you to remind you of your power, and you're always in control. So now is the time to choose to sit with and feel whatever you're feeling and look at what is the fear that comes up, because it's all working in your favor. But we're so trained to think that you're doing something wrong or that it's not possible. You just have to work more. The easiest the easiest thing to identify your biggest block is actually to look at your chart and to understand the energetics behind your beliefs, because what you think truly creates the reality, and even what you share, how you describe your situation. When I get text messages, when I hear people talk about, understand your words just recreate the reality that you actually don't want. If you tell me all the things that are not going on well, and we women are so good at just looking at things that are not working, or where you're beat up on yourself, where you're so hard on yourself, where you still suck, and you describe that, words are not descriptive, they are creative. You actually recreate the same reality. So we need to pause and be quiet and stop talking and listening. And in a conversation with my clients, I usually then identify quickly where the core belief is, and I see it in the chart. And I'm going to show you in a second the chart. But how do you know, how do we create that consciousness shift? By looking at, and I give you an example for myself. I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you want and the vision? And if you're not clear on that true vision, and I actually want you to kind of go back, even if you think you're clear on your vision, go back and sit with it. Ask the creator, ask the universe, is that really the thing that you want me, or is there something bigger? And I know it's something bigger, because it's always something bigger, because we always tend to dim down and not ask for more, what you really want. You might feel, who am I to do this? You might feel, this is too audacious. How can I make this happen? Like, who am I? Who will hire me for that? Who, right? And that's normal. And I feel that too. But I always have been this, no, that is actually mine. I want this. And so I feel this. There is a reason why I desire this. And it was always my biggest strength to never question that, until the world told me over and over again, no, you cannot have it. But I'm coming back to that and say, okay, this is it. This is what I want. And now the next step is to letting go of everything that is not aligned with that, including entire businesses, including entire people, including clients, including, like, everything needs to elevate. Other than that, you're just bullshitting yourself. You cannot continue showing up as a coach and hope for a reality that someone invites you on a TV show and be a leader and a trailblazer and a thought leader, right? It is not working. The energetics behind it doesn't work. And also your brand, this is where the business part and the business strategy comes in. How you position yourself, the message, the content that you put out there. Do you actually put any content out there? Do you really talk real talk? The offers, do they match that vision that you have, the way you get paid, how much you get paid, all that? Are you actually asking for money, or still giving so much for free? It doesn't match. So the consciousness behind it and the beliefs why you cannot have the success, why you cannot receive. It's a lot around receiving. A lot of women have this big block around receiving and feeling worthy of it. And then this over giving is the compensation. And you cannot access that reality, especially not this week. This is now really to sit with it and make that choice. And for me, it is important that you also look at, you cannot do it alone. We cannot do this alone. I could not be here doing it alone. So mentorship is key. But the mentorship that you choose it. I do this, and this is what I do for my clients. Not leading from, this is fixing you. This is the framework, this is the blueprint. I'm gonna do it for you, give you that clarity, and here's the blueprint, and here's the strategy, and now run with it. That's the old way. It is really about holding that space and the strength and the empowerment to feel safe in letting go, opening up, and have that consciousness shift. And that can be uncomfortable for one of two reasons: to really be radically honest and sit with that truth. But I think this new era of mentorship is exactly what is empowering you to really lean into what you really want, busting through those limitations and bringing it back to you. You have the answers. Yes, afterwards we're going to conceptualize it. We monetize your genius. We put it into a business strategy, into a brand, into everything. That's what I love doing. But first is like you, and you got to let go of those beliefs, because it's not worth it. You have so much more to give to the world. And this requires and really sitting with it and feeling safe and feeling with it and not feeling shame around it. When you look at this at mechanics and energetics of a not self, it's not you. It was never you. So you're not doing anything wrong, but you cannot run away from it anymore. And the beauty is the shift happens so much faster once you understand these concepts. And this is the time now. You don't have to take and work any longer on yourself. This is really about being with the right people who can expand you in your own genius and not following anyone else's strategy anymore. You hold that in yourself, and I'm here to pull that out of you. And then we strategize it. So this is what I do with my client in the VIP day this week. She comes here. We have beautiful time together, and that guidance, that one-to-one, is so powerful as projectors. And then if you want to come to my retreat, there's one space available. You can DM me and get information about this, because 2 days together is now worth of 6 months of online work. So this is collapsing time. And this concept here, based on your chart and your business, it gives you so much clarity and the breakthroughs that you want. So the first step is get clear on what you want. The second thing, what comes immediately up, you the reason why do you want this? And this is where the next question is, you need to sit with it. Why is it actually that you want this? What is the intention? What is the consciousness behind it? And as I said, anything that you're going to create from lack, I need the money, or lack, I need to be seen, or lack, then I feel worthy, or lack, even then I can rest. So ask yourself, once you have that, how do you feel? If you suddenly feel more safe, if you suddenly can take a breath, if you suddenly feel seen, or a sense of power, or a sense, it's all not self. And this will not work. So why this is important to connect to your bigger why is because your brand and your brand message is about the why, is not about the program or the offer. And you will only get seen by your dream clients and really connect and attract the right people that are matched to you and that your gifts are here for, that you're here to serve and to lead when you come back to your why and not the means, meaning money, visibility, confirmation, validation, the not self. So I'll give you an example for me. I had resistance coming up to launching an offer. And then I asked myself, what is actually the reason why I do not want to launch this? And my why behind all my work has always been, but I have neglected it so long, is not just to share information. I'm not a fifth line, not to share universal principles that people just, learn for the sake of learning. I always felt bitter and not really fulfilled as a projector. If someone just listens to my work and doesn't do anything with it, even to the point that this live stream, this transmission, I know people will not do anything without it, but just ride on that dopamine hit of having an awareness, but then still not doing the right things. But I know these are not leaders. I am here to lead leaders, and these are action takers, courageous, fear, even with fear, even willing to lean into the discomfort. This is what leaders do, going first. So I asked myself, why am I holding back to openly share about the work that I'm doing with the VIP days, with the retreats, with the online immersion that I wanted to launch? And I was afraid to attract the wrong people, that I had to dim my intelligence or teach a concept. And so I was like, oh, interesting. So I just have to stop doing that. I have to stop offering the wrong things to make money. So I worked through that. You know, I paused my business for a while now. So it's now, I heard the term, the voice saying, God, it's time to monetize it. It's time to really also, because there's an activation in investment. If you're not investing, you're not invested, period. We all know that. This free stuff is great, but it will only get you the results that you choose to. And there's a different activation behind an investment. We all know that. So I got the clear guidance. It's time to let people invest in that consciousness shift. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't stop. I actually created more free content because it opens my vessel. The way how we open the vessel to hold more and higher energy, a higher level of earning, means the frequency is higher, the alignment is deeper, and the certainty is stronger. So what came up for me was this fear that people don't take action. I want to attract action takers, that I see someone is doing something with it. And so I started talking and only looking at people who are action takers. I took action, booked a flight, flew to Florida, got on a stage, feeling not really prepared and ready. My full-on perfectionism kicked in. But while I was doing it, because the thing was, what came up is, if my entire work, my why is, all I want is that you take action with what I'm sharing, whether it's free or paid. That's my why. I want to activate people. My gate 60 is all about busting through limitations. My gate 14 is in my unconscious Mars, which is the main work of is going from compromising your gifts to accessing your full potential, your competence, and going into really this abundance of money. It's a money gate. So all that is my work. It's not about teaching and then feeding that not self of, okay, there's a framework. And I did that because I was sucked into the coaching space and I thought this is how you do it. We all been there, but I was sitting with it and I'm like, why am I not attracting those leaders? It's because I positioned myself wrong. I put the wrong message out. I sold the wrong offers. And wrong, I mean misaligned with my fullest success potential. But there was a destiny where that got me money. But in order to create a different reality, I need to leave that. And the consciousness shift that needed to happen, and this is why it's important, when you know your true why, this is your brand about, no matter what you sell. So then the question is, where are you not in alignment, acting, thinking, being with your own why? So I asked myself, if I, all that my why is to make people really expand in their beliefs around what is possible. All I want is that you listen to this and take action, implement this. Then where am I limited in my beliefs about myself and what is possible? Where am I getting shown by the people that I attract that something still resonates? There's still a consciousness and a belief in me. There's still a not self part in me that does not fully trust and doesn't feel worthy and doesn't feel competent enough. And I looked at all my chart and I could identify it. And where am I not taking action? Oof. Okay. What I immediately did was, even though I was like, okay, the business kind of the revenue got a little bit down because I released a whole revenue stream, I invested more. I took immediate action. This is this week. You get shown, and this is where we shift from gate 8 to gate 20. I show you this in a chart now. The realization that in order to fully really express your genius, you got to reinvent your business, yourself, your brand, your messaging. That's all gate 8. And the detriment of gate 8 is superficiality, faking it till you make it. You know, you pretend to be someone, but which is not. And I have gate 1 that is the connection to gate 8. That means I can very quickly sense if someone is showing up inauthentic in their voice, in their brand, in their message. And as a projector, I mean, we see it anyways, right? So I ask myself, okay, where am I not taking the action? Where am I afraid? Where am I holding on to money out of safety? Where am I selling or wanting to sell something out of, you know, I got to come up with money again. The business should make money. Otherwise, you have no business, like all these voices. And I did the opposite. I was choosing, and this is where the consciousness shift has to happen. You got to choose and see what comes up, the fears, the resistance, the not self, is just to activate a consciousness shift that this is exactly what I need to overcome. And you have to do the opposite. Meaning, if you hold on to money because you already invested so much and how you will block money. And I don't say just throw your money out there. I say take the action that you actually know you're meant to do and is in alignment with your own why. And all those reasons, oh, it's not the time. It's, next time when I'm there, it fits more better into that's all the not self. And you will stay stuck. You will stay stuck because the reason why this fear comes up is exactly to do what you're meant to do. Meaning, if you say, I don't have the money, then you're people, why should people buy? Like you will attract exactly the mirror to that. So meaning your assignment and how to shift is to understand and see that this is the lesson. You got to come up with a solution that you feel that you're powerful and find the solution. Where's the resources, or where's the one thing that you can invest into that gets you closer to the resources? But just staying stuck, holding onto the things is not. And this is where we need to look deeper into which part of your design are holding those not self themes, because that gives you the exact indicator of what is blocking you. Yeah. And so in my case, it was okay, my why is to take action. And so every day I ask myself, where am I not taking the action? Where am I not taking the action? Where am I overly perfectionizing everything, including this live stream? Yeah. So for me, it's actually now action, action, action. and putting things out there. Like I said, the VIP day with my client, the retreat, June 21st. It's for action takers. I only want this. This is all next level advanced alignment. This is only for the ones who are now ready for it. And I'm no longer speaking to anyone else to not dim myself down. And I know that so many of you have work that is way more advanced. So me now showing that to you, want to empower you to lean into and claim your advancedness, but also look at where's the resistance. Where's the resistance right away coming up? That's your tikkun, that's your not self theme. This is where the consciousness shift needs to happen. I had a client sharing with me that she goes through deep emotional states and that she feels really uncomfortable to share without going through it herself. So, meaning I have to have the solution first before I can share it. And that's exactly the thing that we got to shift. So, this is where the growth happens to understand this is in order to get you into power. When you choose to not resist it and you choose to take this and show openly up and share. And I told her exactly what to share and how to share it. It's not about just crying on camera, right? It's from that empowered state. Because when you see that this is a lesson for you, you share without, you feel comfortable in the discomfort because you know exactly that is what you're meant to do. And this is part of a lesson. And once you shift it, you take the power away from it that it has over you and you shift it, and suddenly the new destiny comes up. The new destiny opens up because you choose to share it. You choose to not believe anymore that something has power or that you're powerless or that this is happening against you or that you don't have your shit together. All these not self themes on the beliefs that are coming up. So I'm sharing this with you. And like, yeah, every day I ask myself where I'm not taking action. So I will do that every day. And I notice suddenly people are coming to me and saying, okay, I'm going to sign up for your retreat. I want to come to your retreat. Sign me up. Even my neighbor, the car dealer, is like, okay, you're going to do personal branding. Send me an offer. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. People are taking action. Surprise. You know? And when you understand this, you're not afraid to invest money, to jump into the plane. Next week, I go again on a plane, again to Florida. Even though my body says, do we really need to do this or whatever? Like action, 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 action. I want to only have that level of consciousness in my field. Next level, visionaries, action takers. And this is where I need to clean my stuff up. And then because anything that you experience right now, you hold something in your chart that resonates with it, that wants that, and that attracts this. And it's there for a reason. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's really, really a good thing. Okay. Let me just show you about the chart because I think that is now for you enough to work with. And as an advanced level leader, you know how powerful it feels when you're proud that you took the action, right? So if you want to take any action, if you feel intuitively that's now your time to work with me, that I help you with that, also with the brand positioning and everything aligning with a bigger vision, you know what action to take. I trust you. So let me just pull up the chart that you can share, that you can see what I'm looking at when I'm looking at my clients' charts. So here we have been, today's gate 8. Gate 8 is in its 6-line expression. So today is actually the last day of gate 8. And this is very interesting for me. I receive those information and transmit this with my channel of transmitter. This is this one, the 4426. And I have touch cognition and I'm very intuitive. So I sense everything in the field and I receive these information because I'm not consuming anything anymore. Since my surgery, I'm not really listening. I only study. And then I sit and listen. And even tonight, I go on a walk. I have this deep craving to just sit in silence because I know the magic that comes out. And all that I do with mentors, who I hire, is who encourage me to do that and who I can have a conversation about what comes up. And then we put it into a certain, you know, strategy around my speech or my offers or whatever. But the main work is that I have someone to talk about this stuff because this is so crazy and so next level. And I know that is with you. Like who is there in your life you can talk with? It's very important. And so to understand that level of consciousness, the variables are the access to it. So when I look at the system, the Kabbalah and human design and mechanics, when I look at a chart like this, then, and this is my chart, but this is, so that's not my chart. That's how the transit activates my chart. I don't have a defined sacral. So in this transit, I actually have today a defined sacral. And yesterday, I did not. So understanding the energy of each day is really advanced level. And this is how I approach my business. I build a consciously led, intuitive led business and brand now, and not a strategy or frameworks based on someone else's framework. I did that on a different destiny, a different reality. And now I'm shifting into a higher where there's more purpose, more prosperity, more potential of my own genius. And this is for you too, available now more than ever. 2027 is so close. You want to apply this to your business and your message because I know you're a leader and you're called one and you have so much a message to share with the world. And it's time for those higher souls to step into visibility and prosperity. So, and that is knowing these principles. It's a technology, it's a frame, it's your strategy. It's this is this is the blueprint of how to be successful. And it's there. It's there. But this is where the consciousness to understand that is required because just because it's there, so many are not experiencing that. So many of you are not having the wealth and success you want. Why? It's the consciousness behind it. And so my work now is really about expanding the consciousness with through, for example, the variables work, the deeper layers where you cannot learn about it and then apply it and say, okay, what is the offer based on my chart to create? That's old paradigm. It does not work. So by the way, it's important for me to share this with you. If you cannot come to my house and, at the retreat or meet me personally, I'm doing in June an online immersion where we go into all of this messaging, brand positioning, client attraction, offer design, all business 2027, but also this work around the energetics behind wealth creation and the consciousness of success. And it will be intimate. It will be multiple days. It will be so powerful. And it will be accessible for all of you who cannot come to my house. So if that is something that you want more information on, it's happening at the beginning of June. And it is very limited spaces because I will look at and work with each of you personally as if you were here. So this is exactly the spaces that I would sign up for now. It's not me teaching, it's right away applying it with your brand and your business. And that's why, the spots are limited. And if this is something that you go like, yeah, I want all of what you're talking about resonates, and I think that I'm ready for that next level, I want to invite you to message me, take the action, and I will send you the information as soon as they're fixed. Okay. So coming back to this week's energy, gate 8 and gate 20, what to work on. You have now the concept of the consciousness and what comes up and kind of this the step by step. Ask what you really want, ask for your why, look what comes up. And then the energy here in the chart reflect supports you. So I just see my client saying, yeah, wow, sounds fascinating. Tanya will share more about the retreat in June 21st. And I think you're already one of them joining. I already counted you in, so by the way. But all this work is so what I'm also role modeling for you is that you hold wisdom within yourself that is kind of sleeping. And I'm here to wake that up because what I role model is just a reflection of you. So there's something in you that manifested me in your reality to reflect something, to mirror something. So there's some resonance in what I'm saying, but also in how I'm living, how unapologetic I am, how confident. It's all in you already. I'm here to activate what is sleeping. You do not have to become anything. Look at me as really what this is, the movie, this passenger consciousness of leaning back. Wait, I'm manifesting everything. This is the movie. But the thing is, you cannot change the movie. You can only, meaning, think about you're in a cinema and you're watching a movie. That's the destiny that you're in right now. And if there's something happening that you don't like, literally in a movie, you cannot just tell the people like stop the movie and cut out the scene. I don't like it. That's the destiny. That's the train. The train goes into to a destination where you earn a certain amount of money, you are single or not, you are healthy or not. It's one thing. And then in order to access that different reality, you got to leave the movie center. And I pop in there already as a signpost from that future reality of wealth, unapologeticness, ease, success, intelligence, divine downloads, because it shows you, hey, there's something else inside of you. And it resonates. So this is true. But you have to get off that fucking train instead of trying to stop the train. Just get off the next station and come to my house. Join that online immersion. That is the exit to access that next train. You see that? So you have to go into a different movie. Does that land for you to understand destinies and realities? And we always got trained to say, this is your life. This is your reality, the only that you have. And you have to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Time is not real. Time is not linear. And once I understand that, whoa. Okay, all that you have is the now. And this is gate 20, and this is starting tomorrow. So I give you just the transit of the sun in 8, which is, hold on, let me just pull up today. Today is the 20th. There we go. Let me just activate. Hold on, I need to change something here. To see just now mode here. This is what I wanted to look at. Okay, now we're on the right one. So we are in transit gate 8. Gate 8 is all about in the throat. It connects the G center to the throat. As I said, I'm showing this and it's on YouTube, not on Instagram. For all of you watching here on Instagram, it's going to be up later to watch on my YouTube. And then this is all about really reinventing, sharing yourself authentically. So what needs to realign, reinvent so that you can rise and that you really have the freedom to express your genius, your fullest authentic self. Now, there comes this fear of if I do that, then fear of success, because you're most magnetic, you're most authentic, you're most successful when you truly do it your way. That's what we now know. It's in your chart, it's in your design, it's by design. But that's also the biggest fear of rejection, of being too much, etc. So this is what we are working on this week, and I'm role modeling you that by also bringing a new concept in where I had thought, oh my God, this is too spiritual, it's too next level. People don't understand it. They only want the strategy. It's like the shortcut. I'm like, God, Jesus said, no, this is what I want you to do. And I'm like, okay, take action. At this point, I'm so devoted. I'm like, okay, just listen and take action. It's fucking scary. But I trust. And if that resonates with you, then just send me a message. Say, girl, finally you're talking about that shit because nobody else is doing it. And I'm like, I knew. Yeah. So this is this week. We all feel, and I just see that the moon is in 55. So how I do this is that I look at the chart and things pop up. Things just pop up. I see the 55 in the moon, and the moon is the subconscious, it's the feminine, and the moon is in the 55-4, which is definitely your circle. So this is 55 is about spiritual abundance. So you want to have and be with the right people to create spiritual abundance, and the right people who see you in your genius, who accept and acknowledge and want you to be your most authentic self while they are their most authentic self as well. Very important. What else do I see? I see this week was where there's mm, no, Pluto. Pluto is on 41.2. 41 is my sun gate, and 41 is all about the bigger vision, your fantasy, your dreams, and your desire for evolution and growth. And Pluto means that this week, in order to, in order to really create now from your authentic, more aligned self, that reality, that bigger vision, the old vision has to die because it was never the one. It's actually expired. So death and rebirth is required in order to really gain that clarity and that clear downloads. So let's go into the 20, which is from tomorrow on, because that's going to be interesting. So what you understand is in the 8, the previous, when I then pull up a client's chart, or in this case, my chart, then I see, oh, okay, now I was working with this energy this week, and it affected my chart that I suddenly have a very defined throat. And you saw me going live nearly every day. I recorded a 2.5 hour podcast yesterday. I have a lot of individual expression. I have a channel of structuring, channel of innovation. So it is very much a very creative individual energy. And I felt myself and witnessed myself doing that. And I don't use it in foresight to say, okay, now I have the channel of innovation. So how do I apply this to my content? This is the work where you just let your body move and stop thinking if it's right or wrong thing. I also witnessed a channel of openness, emotionality here. Grace is important. Like a lot of this is a manifestor channel. So definitely moving with and speaking emotions from grace, and giving yourself the grace of um, not beating yourself up, not talking shit to yourself. Let's go into this week to understand how to apply this. And I had to smile. I had to smile as I looked at it, how it affects my chart. We have, when I just look at the transit only, we have the channel of power, like the channel of power, the gate of power, the channel of charisma, which is the 34 to the 20. And this is the direction in the now and the gate of power. So what does this mean? It means that, as I said, the only power you have is in the now, and it is a very quick response. And this is about manifesting and taking action from your intuition in the now, not overthinking it and trusting that this is how you manifest. You only have the now. The actions you take now or the inactions you take now are creating the next version of the now, which is tomorrow, but tomorrow doesn't exist. It's just another version of the now. So the question is, what is the destiny that you want to manifest? Even how you go to bed at night, the decisions you not make, the things you said you want to do, the things you didn't do, it all affects the reality you experience in the next moment. And that is the lesson over the next 8 weeks, 8 days, 6 days, where we go through the line expressions where the moon is still in the 55, but then in point 6, it means it is about spiritual abundance for role modeling it. So where are you asked to role model your own vision? As I said, your why behind it, being how much are you operating, acting in alignment with that? If you're here and you're meant to lead and this is your why are you not leading yourself? And you know in every moment in the now what the right thing is. You know it. And this is now the time where you have to stop bullshitting, letting your not self bullshit on yourself. It's not you versus you, it's you versus the opponent, which is the not self. The opponent in Kabbalah is the lower energy, the darker side, and they want you small. They want you be there, in a low frequency so that you don't get into a power, that you don't get your work out into the world. Is this what you want? So this is about all really being radically honest that you are responsible for your success. And this is where I always said success is a choice. Every day you make decisions and you're choosing it. And I work myself every day. That's why the practice is so important to know the choices I need to make. And every day I notice I didn't do it. Damn, I didn't do it. Then I give myself grace. I say, okay, I can shift in the now. What is it that I said I want to do? What is that actually is in integrity with my vision? And then I got to lead myself through it. This is self-responsibility. This is 2027. This is being in your authority for everything and not feeling guilty or shame or sitting in pity and, going down the rabbit hole of depression. This is, okay, where do I need to reach out to my mentor and really have that conversation to get the kick in the butt or the motivation or whatever? Like, this is the now. Over the next 6 days, you have the possibility. And when I look at my chart, how it affects me, it gives me a lot of energy. And I know that to predict the future in my chart, it shows up that my 57, the knowing about the future is connected to the 20, meaning I have even more clarity in the now, what my future is, and I've manifested very, very quickly when I take immediate action. And this is what I want to empower you to. Every day, take that action, even if it's scary. Invest right now, investing time, energy, money into everything that is aligned with your vision, whatever you can. Like, look at it. Holding on to money is keeping money away. Not posting the post is holding the client away. Um, not taking action is recreating the reality that you have right now. Is this what we want? If you want it, good. Good for you. If you know you're meant for more, you got to take different actions. And this week is really showing you, where do you have the knowing? Where is it in the now? Trust your intuition and take the aligned action. Look what is coming up. This is your not self, your tikkun, and look at what you're actually asked to do with it. You got to choose it. You got to choose and sit with the feeling. And then have a conversation with someone about it, because otherwise you get stuck with it. So having someone who can guide you through it and has that higher level of consciousness. This is what my work is about. This is what my teachings are about. This is where my immersion will be about, the things that I'm now creating. So there is always something the universe is showing you. You got to choose. I only work with action takers, and you choose if you're one or not. This is your time to really manifest your true potential, prosperity, and purpose. And I'm so happy for you that this video found you, because it shows you the universe is saying, this is your time. This is your invitation to rise. Do something with it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you get notified with the next video that I'm creating. And I am excited to hear from you what landed for you. So message me on Instagram for any inquiries and information about how to work with me. Please send me as well a message on Instagram. I'm very excited to get to know you. See you very soon. And always remember, you are designed for success.